Good evening and welcome to West Ham Irons United for the late daily show. So thank you all for joining.
2 days late.
2 days late. I was trying to do it on my own, but he was begging me. He's going, Stel, I'm getting withdrawal systems. Withdrawal symptoms. Can I please come on and do the show with you? And I went, all right then, fucking hell, if you're going to get upset about it, you might as well come on. So
literally, people just know the truth of the obsession that he has with me, but it's cool. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, so we've got some news for you, haven't we, Anton?
Yeah,
we haven't signed anyone. There's a lot going on. We were going to talk about the PAI capital statement. Did you see that massive statement that they put out today?
What an amazing statement. Like, I've really bought into everything
they said. Oh, hang on a minute. They didn't make one, did they? They just went on Hammers News and they decided to answer a few questions there. But we're not going to talk about that. We might do later on. Who knows? Depends on how long we're going to be on for.
We should talk about it a little bit.
We'll talk about it a little bit. But I think the main theme is, obviously, people are going into absolute overdrive because... we've heard that we're not going to sign a few more players. We've heard that Zuma is apparently no longer interested in us, and we've heard that Tammy isn't interested in us, and we heard that Danny Ings is going to Aston Villa for, was it 30 million quid?
25 million quid, yeah.
25 million quid. So obviously we're in deep trouble, aren't we, mate? With no signings. Apart from Ariola.
I'm starting to worry, but I'm not fully worried. I'm not. Yes, of course, I want to have West Ham signing players that can strengthen the squad, and yes, I want West Ham to sign players that can help. But we've not done it yet, and we're just going to have to wait and see what comes of it. And again, I'm going to have to put the trust in Moyes. I don't think the wool's been pulled over his eyes, to be honest. Because if we don't sign players, then the wool has been. But if we do get to the window ending and we've not signed players, then the wool has been pulled over his eyes. Still, see if we weren't in the Europa League, mate. See if we weren't in the Europa League, I'd be okay with maybe one more signing, or maybe two more. But
I'm gonna ask the question. We know what happened in the winter transfer window when everybody was going, sign a player. We've sold Dallaire. Sign a player. And he just came out and said, I'm not going to buy a player for the sake of buying a player. And it could be that everyone's sort of like pointing fingers at the board. I heard we were called board lovers tonight, by the way. Is that right?
We were, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just you. Just Phil.
Oh, just me?
No. We were called it, but I said it. No, it's just Phil.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, I didn't. I stuck up for you, ish.
I don't care. I give a shit what people think.
You do a little bit.
Good evening, Toby. It seems West Ham have taken the same policy signing players that you two cretins have towards hoodies. Yeah. So he basically Moyes said in the winter transfer window, I'm not going to buy players for the sake of buying players. Now we keep hearing that he's due diligence, Dave, and then we keep hearing that the board have pulled wool over his eyes and they're not giving him the money. I think the money's there. I think it's already been suggested that the money's there. If you remember, some months back, West Ham refinanced themselves in order to manage their debt better, and we borrowed money off MSD Holdings. What's his name? The guy that owns the computer company, Dell, and Dell Boy, and what was it? I can't remember the amount. 120 million or something like that, of which we've kind of spent about 50 odd million to refinance our debts. So we've paid off bad debts, and we now have a new debt, but at a lower percentage rate. And there's still something like about 70 million pounds left on that. So I truly believe, that there is money available. I'm just beginning to wonder if it's more David Moyes and his due diligence, which I would call dithering, than anything else. I don't know. What do you
I
think?
mean, let's briefly talk about a few of the players. Tammy Abraham, I'm not convinced, but you are. The fan base is split. But just because you're convinced that West Ham should take him doesn't mean it's the right signing for West Ham. I personally don't think he probably would be the right signing for the price rate that he's at. But that's me. That's my choice for that. But we don't know realistically if he was a choice. So is he a missed target? We as fans think we know football, but we do to a certain extent. But we're still sitting at home paying a season ticket and
Doing
not
this
being
and not
doing
getting paid
this
thousands of
and not getting paid
pounds.
thousands of
Yeah,
pounds to be in the game as such. So,
yeah.
um, Tammy Abraham will never know if he was a target unless he actually signs on a dotted line and unless the board
Well, I
speak out.
read
You know,
something.
the one categoric player that we can say that we 100% know that West Ham were interested in still is Tarkowski.
Yeah,
And maybe Sema on the basis of what
yeah,
the president
yeah.
said.
I think it's really interesting, because it's funny how everyone goes, we've missed out on another player. We've missed out on another player. And I just wonder if we're ever in for Danny Ings. I wonder if we're actually ever going to be in for
But still,
Abraham.
we'll
I,
talk
I,
about put
go on.
Danny Ings into the equation and ask. I'm going to ask the chat right now. I understand that Aston Villa are going to have a surplus of £100 million to spend. Do you want West Ham to spend £25 million on Danny Ings? 29. Yes, he scored a lot of goals, but bad injuries in the past. West Ham's history, is that worth the risk? Now,
No,
I love, if I can guarantee that Danny Ings would move, I know he's gone, but would move to West Ham without the injuries. It's a no-brainer, but no one will ever know that. And he has got a couple of bad injuries still.
mate,
25 million, 29 years
I'm with
old.
you.
That
I'm
goes
with you.
against everything that what West Ham fans want. It goes against it
Exactly,
all.
exactly. And here's the massive irony. People go on, buy him, buy him, buy him. And then if we buy him and he gets injured, people are going to go, why the fuck have we wasted all that money on a player that's injury prone and 29 years of age? And Danny Ings, decent player. Can't deny he's had a good time at Southampton, and kind of resurrected his career as such after the injuries, etc., at Liverpool and so on. But no, I agree with you. I think it would have been all right, but would have been a little bit disappointed if we bought
I'd be
someone like Danny Ings.
Well, I don't
You
think I
know,
would even be disappointed. Listen, if we're sitting here now doing a show on Danny Ings, there probably would have been a bit of a buzz from a mixture of signing a player that scores goals and West Ham signing a player. However, he is, if you look at his history, am concerned that he's got a couple of bad knees and it's extremely typical of West Ham to sign a player at that value and he comes in the door and something bad happens. It's extremely typical of West Ham. It's too coincidental. It's just too problematic. I like the fact, do you know what? Fair play to Aston Villa. They've gone out. They've gone out with some intent. They're bringing in some players. What we think would suit West Ham as such, but would they? I don't know. Would he? Maybe Ings' style of player. I think his style of play style would suit West Ham's style of play. I don't
possibly.
doubt that for a
Yeah,
second, but I think I can't help it. I'm sorry for people, even if they say it to me, but I'm more worried about Ings' injury record and
yeah,
West Ham signing him.
yeah. I agree. Here's an interesting point from Danny, and good evening to you all, by the way. And we will get as many comments in as we can. I faith in Moyes.
Oh,
He's
hold on a
shown.
minute. Have you got a like target? Have you put a like target on?
We got 162 watching, so we want 150 likes,
Oh
please.
wow,
So
we
go
want.
ahead and hit that like target right now, please, before you do anything else. Otherwise, we'll go off air right now. Go and hit the like target. And if you think we're shit, hit the unlike target. But I'd rather you 150. Let's get cracking. Danny, hello mate. Danny Stevens. I've faith in Moyes. Surely he knows we don't have the depth to compete this season. And this is the thing. There's one side of the argument that the board aren't giving him money to sign players. And there's the other side of the argument, which I think is probably more true, is that Moyes is procrastinating and he's taking a little bit long. And what before we came on air, we talked about Lingard, and I actually said this on the show on Monday night. He might be waiting for Lingard to sign, but surely if he's waiting, and he might wait right to the end of right to the end of the transfer window, we're going to end up missing out on. So it shouldn't affect other positions, should it? It shouldn't affect centre back. Shouldn't affect.
No, it shouldn't
striker.
affect bringing in other players if he does it. But then again, there goes the faith, and we've got to trust the faith. I mean, still, you've got to look at our. I just said to you before we came on live. I said we need to do an image of our squad written down with the backup players. Just see. I don't doubt for a second we need more strength and depth to challenge. But maybe Moyes is looking at things and going, "I'm okay in this position now. I'm feeling comfortable in this position.
Well,
I'm not comfortable here. I'm not comfortable there."
As quickly as we possibly can, let's run them through. So goalies, Areola, Fabianski, done. On the right side,
well, even go further, Randolph and Martin. I mean, you've got strength, yeah.
On the right side, we've got Soufal, and let's say for the time being, Fredericks. Okay, because I think Fredericks is going to play wing backy role. But for the time being, let's just say Fredericks. Left hand side, you got Krezi and you got Johnson. And you got Masuaku, and then you got Johnson who can play either side. Centre backs, Diop, Dawson, Ogbonna. We know he's injured. Sorry.
I think we do need to strengthen, unless
that's one area straight away. Okay.
Yeah.
Centre of midfield, we've got.
Hold on a minute. Sorry, strength and depth. So go for it. Oggy, Dawson, Diop, Reed.
Maybe Reed.
No, but we have to still count him because he's contracted there to the club. So Reed. Then we've got
you're clutching.
No,
mate.
No, but then younger players, we've got Alessi and Baptiste.
But what we're Baptiste, Alessi, Alves. But let's not include, because people are going to go, you can't play youngsters. So let's not include the youngsters. So let's at the moment take out Reed. So just for the time being, Dawson, Diop, and Ogbonna. We know we need strength there. Centre and mid, Declan, Souček, Noble, Lanzini. There's 4 there. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Right side of, now I know people aren't going to like it, but right side of midfield, we've got Bowen and Yarmolenko. Left side of midfield, that's where we're going to start looking at struggling. We got Benrahma, but no one else to cover him as it stands, unless Masuaku plays that role. But then if you've got Masuaku playing that role, then again you're losing out more defensively. Central attacking midfield, Fornals. So one could argue you need a player that can go into that attacking midfield role. So that, are we going to agree that's 2 areas definitely?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the obvious up front, Antonio. So it kind of goes, this is what Moyes said at the start of the season, I need 3 players. And he said at the start of the season, centre back, attacking midfielder, striker. Someone asked the question, are we going to get any of those 3 signings? Let's start off before the season starts. Are we going to get another signing before the season starts in 2 weeks' time?
11 games, 11 days to go. And I'm going to say, yeah, I am. Who? I don't know. 1 at least.
Okay. Are we going to get any more signings before the end of the window?
Yes.
On top of the 1?
Yeah.
How many more do you reckon we're going to get all 3?
Yeah.
You're not sure, are you?
No, I am. I'm worried, but I am.
Worried.
Because we've just spoke about the squad. We've just spoke about the squad. So then if you then start to add in what players can make the step up, there's a couple, right? There's a couple, in my opinion, that are going to have to make the step up this season. Maybe more than a couple if you talk about the League Cup, the FA Cup, and Europa League. There's probably going to be more than a couple there that are going to have to make the step up. But yeah, I don't doubt for a second he knows we're going to have to bring in strength and depth. I absolutely don't doubt it for a second. He may go on the thinner side. He's shown us that he will go. He will go through a season on the thin squad side if he needs to, because he trusts what he's got. He's not going to break that momentum that the squad have got. That squad has the momentum. They are buzzing with life. It doesn't mean that they're going to go into the new season playing really well, but he's gone. I don't know what's happened here, but I think that there's going to be definite good good options there. But people are in the chat here talking about Pereira and Lingard, for example. So the question I put to you is, who would you like out of the two, Pereira or Lingard? People are saying they would rather Pereira, but if you look at Pereira's contract, or statement that he said, he actually said that I've been made a life-changing contract. So you want a player who is kind of highlighting the fact that he wants more money. I'm bringing up the Pereira situation still, because his statement's really quite key. He has stated that he's been made a life-changing contract
3 weeks ago.
So his head is already gone from his next move if it was not the club that he's been made that offer from. So if Pereira finds himself at West Ham next season, we already know that the next offer he's gone.
It'll be another Arnautovic immediately.
Yeah, because his heart's not.
But I think people have got to differentiate the difference between making an inquiry.
I'm sorry, quickly, Lingard, NWO, mate. He's absolutely so far from done. I think so too. It's not done. It's not done, mate. It's not done.
So too. People have got to differentiate the difference between making an inquiry about a player and actually making an offer for a player. Actually being, and we made an inquiry about Pereira, but that's about as far as it went. And we made the inquiry some time back, and we've made inquiries about a lot of players. I've no doubt.
Yeah, but still, have we though?
Well, that's what I mean about the difference between making an inquiry and actually taking it for any further. So my understanding of the Pereira situation is we made an inquiry, and that's the difference between having a legit interest in a player and just inquiring. So what would it be? What if we were to go for this player? What are you going to ask for, etc., etc. So that's a distinct difference. I'm sure we've made inquiries for quite a number of players, but the difference between making an inquiry and actually pursuing that player as a transfer target are very, very different. So when people go, we've missed out on Pereira, I don't think we have. I'm not even sure we've actually made an inquiry about Danny Ings, and people are going, we missed out on Danny Ings. But
I'm not going to take that bet because I agree with you. I don't think he'll start the season with us. But what I'm saying is he may end the transfer window with us. Keyword may. Not saying he will, but saying may. Sorry.
All right. Let's move on to a player that we've been linked to back again. Yeah, because it's we were linked to him some weeks ago during the Euros. Even last season we were linked to him. In fact, we were linked to him when Pellegrini was here. And the rumor is that we're now back in for this player. Think
he's enjoying the music more than the transfers at the moment, Mark. Fofana got an injury from Leicester today, bad one. He's probably going to be out for the season, which makes me think Leicester will probably sign Kaleta.
Well, we've heard all about Zuma. We've heard all about Zuma. Apparently, we've gotten so close. Now, this is a transfer story I kind of believe. I think maybe we were in negotiations, and apparently Zuma has now turned around and said he doesn't want to join us. weird.
Who bloody? I don't. Who knows this? Who
Well,
is in? You know,
I
I,
mean,
I mean,
would
still,
a trans?
but still, I'm sitting here like I'm trying my best to give people. You know, we come on, we give West Ham content, and I, I, I- I've been involved in doing this for so many years. You are as well. We speak to people here, there, and everywhere. But I get so fed up with people saying that they know who's like. I'm not meaning you, but we put an inquiry in for Pereira. What happens if we didn't put an inquiry in for Pereira?
No,
It's
I
just
believe
what
we
we're.
did, but
Yeah,
I
but you
wonder if the
believe
Zuma
it, but I
thing.
don't know if we like. Did
Yeah,
we?
true. Well, okay,
I'm
let's
just
speak about
saying.
let's speak about Kaletakar. Now that we've heard that we're not going for Zuma, or Zuma has turned us down, or whatever it might be. Kaletakar, what do you think?
Yeah, good signing. Sorry, good player. Still got a lot to learn. I think. I don't doubt that for a second. I don't think he starts every single game, even for his international side. He does for his club level, but not an international level. But um, he is a stepping out defender,
Hmm.
and then so it makes me think it's more of a replacement for one of the centre halves we've got just now, and I don't think it's Craig
Diop.
Dawson. Yeah, I don't think it's Craig Dawson. I think Craig
Well,
Dawson's going to have a big season at West Ham.
well, we saw him play against England, and people say this talked about how he kept Harry Kane quiet. Um, he's got good aerial ability. He's dangerous. He defends well in the air, which is what you want your centre half to do, centre back to
Mm.
do. He's good at set pieces. He doesn't score a lot of goals, but he's good at defending set pieces. So he's
And he
always in the
has,
right area.
and
Yeah, go on.
Gary makes the valid point there. He has got a good engine. He does look like he's got a good engine. He looks like he can keep going throughout the game, and
Hmm.
he's not got that kind of. He looks like a more rounded, ready to rock and roll centre half that we thought we were getting in Diop, but Diop's confidence been shook so badly that he looks so not confident on the ball anymore.
He looked all right the other day against Brentford.
Yeah, he did. That's what I mean.
You know,
Apart from this, I'm kind of relating it to last season as such. But um, uh, yeah, Kaleta, he wouldn't be my choice, mate. He wouldn't be my choice as
okay.
a centre half. There's more out there. Zuma wouldn't be my choice, but would I be happy with either or? Yes, but
But
there's
you still
certainly
be
not.
happier with this person.
Yeah, I really like the look of him. I like the fact that
Apparently,
he's
Juventus are talking to him.
yeah, yeah.
It's either Juventus or AC Milan. But I, I think I said this a few weeks ago. If we only get one more player in before the season starts, I'd rather have a defender than any other area. I don't know what do you think?
Mm.
If there
I
was
don't
only
know,
one
mate.
choice,
Yeah, I know, mate. Nah.
no,
If there was only one choice, I think we've got nothing even in the youth setup to step up to the striker plate if something happens. I know we've got the option of Bowen. I know that's the new kind of way of thinking about West Ham going forward, but I I am worried about a forward, a
hmm
striker. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to be an out and out nine, but someone that can support Antonio, someone that can give West Ham an option if Antonio gets injured, or someone that can play alongside Antonio. I think that's integral still. I really do. I think us. How many times have we done these shows, and how many times have we said we rely heavily on Antonio? And if
yeah,
he does,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but I'm saying that if there was an option for me, but what worries me um, is that we started to ship more goals again
we
at the
did,
tail
we
end of the
do,
season.
we
And
do.
with regards to scoring goals, as much as I don't like the fact that we've only got Antonio up there, we've got players that can find the back of the net. We've got options. A number of players scored goals last season in order to boost our goal ratio. But it's the defending that concerns me. Um, I think we kind of agreed that on both sides, I'd still like to see a left back come in.
I think still, I think that we all know, and even Moyes knows that defence is something that we've had to strengthened for many, many years at West
Mhm.
Ham. But I would, think if it was only one choice of the other, one or the other, it would have to be a striker, because at least then you can start to look at a little bit of strength and depth. You've got Diop, Augie, Dawson, Alves, and if you need to dip into the youth, you can. Alessi, Baptiste, if you have to. But whereas in the forward line, Antonio and who? It's not
Mhm.
enough up top. It's not enough up top.
Well, people are saying that Yarmolenko is going to play the position he played in for Ukraine in the
Still
Euros.
not enough though.
Mate, I'm not
I
disagreeing with
know,
you.
no, I know,
I'm not.
but
I'm not disagreeing with
I know
you.
you don't. I know you don't.
But
I'm just that's my biggest concern there is,
yeah,
and people are, NWO saying, would Lingard count as a striker? No, no, because he's not. But it would be, if I was to say to you, it's that's going to be the only option. I mean, look what Lingard done. What striker would have came in and done what Lingard did for us
yeah,
the last time
true,
round?
true.
Um,
Danny says, got to stay positive. I can be negative when the window is over and we haven't signed anyone. I was going to talk about this earlier because I had it up on the screen for a while. Disabled team. I have faith in Moyes. It's the owners who sign the checks I'm struggling to have faith in. And it's interesting because I was listening to More Than Just a Podcast earlier today, the show on Mondays. And they said the same thing that I think. Someone sent a question in and said, what's the biggest myth about the owners? And I can't remember which one of them said, Canning Town Lane or whoever. One of them said, "Oh, it's not spending money. It's a myth because we do. We just haven't spent it wisely." And I think I think you and I keep saying that in our shows. It's not that we haven't. It's not as if the board haven't spent money. It's just that they've spent it in a really bad way.
yeah,
And the other
but they
myth was,
haven't. But
oh,
sorry, yeah, but they haven't. Like, we could go back as far as saying we haven't replaced Haller, we haven't replaced Anderson. We've lost two of our record signings and never replaced those record signings, and we all know for a fact we need to sign players. But as long as we sign the right ones, and the question you asked me at the start was, am I worried? Yes, how much? A little bit than I was yesterday. And as each day goes into the season, by not signing another player, I'll keep getting that little bit of worry. It'll get worse and worse. And then the first game of the season, it'll be a bit, squeaky bum time. And then you know what it's like still. If we go into that last day of the transfer window, I mean, unless they pull something out the bag and bring in three players in the end of the window, that's the only way they
might
could pull it
happen.
out of the bag.
It might happen. It
That's
might
the only
happen.
thing they could do
The
to pull
only
it out of the
thing, the
bag.
only thing that's ringing in my ears is the statement that Moyes made at the end of the season. I want to do my business early. He said that. He said, I know what I want. I know what positions I want to fill. I want to do my business early. And this goes back to Lingard. Is he banking on Lingard finally coming to us? And I agree with you. I think that fire is still burning. Maybe a bit dimly, but that fire is still burning.
But it's going to
Is
be
he
dimly, yeah.
is he banking on Lingard before he go? Because if he's banking on, but I asked that question again. I can understand that for an attacking midfield role, and he might decide, Anton, that if he gets Lingard, he won't get a striker. He might decide he's got enough
Yeah.
to be able to mix players around. We mentioned
But
Bowen,
still, what day are we in?
Yarmolenko.
We're on Wednesday right now, yeah?
Just.
Declan Rice came back to training yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Sufal, Suchek,
Last week.
Yarmolenko came back to training last week. So we're starting to see a little bit more movement now. We're starting to see it. We saw movement from Aston Villa. They're putting out. Grealish is going to go to Man City. They're looking at Campbell.
Maybe that might be the trigger
but
for all the other
there's
transfers to happen.
there's more. We're not in for these players that we're not in for. It's just. I said to you yesterday, we were talking about doing a show yesterday. We didn't do a show yesterday because just the way life works out, and that's what happens. And we were going to do a show, and I'd said to Stell, I was like, let's do something based upon Declan's back, business starts now, something like that.
Yep.
And it is a little bit like that. I wonder if things will pick up a bit now, because for the first time, Moyes has got the whole West Ham squad back together. Every player's back, and he may just want to see what these players play like around the younger players and see what he's got, and then he'll start to really make his judgment and make his move. I just hope. Do you know what? Still, see if we do sign 3 players. Let's look back at this video and all the videos we've done when we've panicked and punch ourselves in the face.
Well, I haven't panicked yet. I'm beginning to. I'm not panicking. I'm sort of a bit. You're
2
right.
seconds, literally 2 seconds. Yeah.
Go on, you go. I'm not panicking. I'm getting a little bit concerned, but I'm not panicking just yet because the transfer window, it's now the nearly the 5th of August. The transfer window still has 26 days to go, and it closes on the 31st of August. So really, we've got nearly 4 weeks to still sign players. Jamie, there's a certain someone that prevented the statement from being. Is that the PAI statement? I don't think anyone could have stopped them from releasing it. So I'd be more than interested to hear a bit more about that. I'm going to make a comment about going back to why I've put up this fella in on the screen. I think the domino effect could be starting soon. We just talked about, Grealish is going to wherever he's going. Is it Man City? Who signed him? City. And so Aston Villa are now beginning to do their business, and that might trigger some business elsewhere, might trigger some business here, there, and everywhere. And I think if we are in for Abraham, I think the interesting thing will be is that they're looking to sign Romelu Lukaku, or is it Haaland, Chelsea? So they're looking at bringing a striker in, and I think the minute that striker is signed, people were talking about Abraham going to Aston Villa. Well, they got Danny Ings now, and I think the minute they start looking at signing maybe Romelu Lukaku or Haaland or whoever they're going to sign, that's going to then open that door for Abraham to move. I was just saying about the domino effect, about teams are starting to buy, Grealish is gone, etc. So that's prompted Aston Villa to buy, and so on. I'm suggesting with regards to Abraham, we know that Chelsea are looking for a striker. It's Haaland or it's going to be Lukaku.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Lukaku now.
Lukaku, yeah, and so that's going to, the minute that happens, that could happen in the next few days, and that could then trigger someone coming in for Abraham. That's why I think maybe there's the faint hope that the faint possibility that maybe the Abraham deal is still on.
Don't even get me wrong when I say this. Like, I don't think Abraham's the right player for West Ham, but who am I? And see if he signs for West Ham and he's standing there with that West Ham shirt, I'll come on a show and I'll be buzzing when he's there if he does. But I have to keep saying it still. I don't think the wool's been pulled over his eyes, and I trust exactly everything. So. I trust everything that Moyes is doing. Yeah. And I just hope I'm proven right. I really do. I hope I'm not proven wrong.
Zuma, is it over? Is it not over? Our personal terms, because I read about 4 different stories on this today. I read that he doesn't want to come to West Ham. I've heard that he doesn't agree with the personal terms. I've heard that the deal was dropped, and then I heard that, or I read, should I say, that we're back in. All of a sudden we're back in renegotiating.
But I mean, still, 1 minute we're not signing Areola, then we sign Areola. Like, it's ridiculous sometimes, this world of because we do what we do, and everyone follows it and is obsessed. It becomes an addiction to find out the latest link and what's happening. And one footballing agent from the world comes on and goes, West Ham hold an interest, and then the next day West Ham don't hold an interest. The player's interested, the player's not interested. I don't know. I don't fall for it as much, to be honest. I think I don't fall for it as much anymore.
Let's go on to our saviours, PAI Capital. Irish Tommy, good evening to you, mate. I hope you're well. If PAI
Top of the morning to you.
If PAI, there you go. Now he's Irish.
Well, I am actually, because my mum's from Tipperary. My mum's actually from where Irish Tommy's from.
We've heard the story so many times.
Well, then don't take the mick out of it.
Don't bore people. Right, 212 watching, 150 like buttons. So get with it, people. Come on, Irish Tommy. If PAI wanted to get fans on board, thank you.
Sorry,
If PAI wanted to get fans on board with their takeover breaking their word, wasn't a good way to start. We've had that for over 10 years with GSB and aren't in the mood to tolerate the same from PAI. Someone mentioned, James, was it James? You said that they've been stopped from putting out a statement. How can you stop a prospective buyer from putting out a statement? I don't
Maybe they've
understand.
been advised to not put a statement
Because it'll be a pile of shit.
because
That's probably why they've been advised.
what I would say on the matter is that I'm concerned at the way that's been conducted.
In the media.
And maybe they've fallen under the trap of Sullivan. But the fact is, if they have fallen under the trap of Sullivan and they have still reacted this way, it doesn't fill me with great joy at all. I don't like the fact that they've gone to specific people on social media, if they have, who are trying to, and it's no disrespect to them individually. It's really not disrespect to them individually because they've got a living to make themselves. But I don't like the fact they've done that. I don't like the fact that the interview that came out from was it Hammer's News?
Yeah,
it was
exclusive interview. Did you read?
It wasn't. Yeah, but I'm not. Fair play. I mean, listen, if we had some form of correspondence from them, we probably would have put it out as some form of content. But it was a load of BS, really, because it kept saying more will be revealed on our thing tomorrow. So where's the statement that you said you're going to put out? Where's the right? It's not the right way of why you want to buy the club. And we as fans, if the majority don't want the board in, I'm going to reiterate this statement: hate me or like me or do what you want, but I'm not willing to accept anybody to come into the club, especially during the current financial state that people are in. And especially if you do start to look at the history of some of these people that are looking at buying West Ham, mate, I mean, they've not got a good track record in football.
No, they haven't. Well, they haven't got. Well, apparently the owner of PAI Capital is from, where is he? Kazakhstan or I don't know, Azerbaijan or something. Apparently, he became a West Ham fan in 1986. All of
but also an England fan. It just doesn't make sense.
And an England fan to boot.
But do you know what? Yeah. Still, there was again, an associate was the person that spoke to Hammers News. But from that Hammers News comment or those interviews, there was a statement and there was a contradicting answers. One of the answers was, do you have the money to buy the club? Yes. Do you have the money to invest in the squad to the level that you want to? Yes. However, if the price of the club goes up, that transfer budget can change. It's contradicting everything you've just said.
Exactly.
So things like that don't read well and don't look well, and it's a bit of a marketing disaster. To be honest. And so if a club, if a business is a multi-billion business, then they're certainly not showing it as a multi-billion business. And that's where my concern lies.
Well, and then we got to remember that this consortium, they're an investment company, so the question, apparently their own wealth is only about 150 million or so. So that means they're going to have to either borrow money or they're going to have to use investors' money in order to buy West Ham United. And if they're borrowing money or if they're using investors' money, investors are going to want a profit, which means that they're going to burden the club by mortgaging the club, borrowing money off the club. Good evening, Jack. I hope you're well. They're going to have to end up borrowing money off the back of the club, and then the club will become in more debt. And this is what I don't understand. People are going, let them. I can't wait for these new owners to come in. Our saviors, our saviors. They sound like a bunch of shysters, mate. To be really honest with you.
I'll be honest with you, still. And if you're happy that these guys are coming in to potentially take over the club, good. That's fine. Up to you. I'm going to tell you now. The only time I would have been excited about PAI coming in. You ready?
Go on.
When I was 12 years old. I'm not saying if you support it, you're 12 if you're watching right now, but me doing my due diligence would make me believe that I was 12 years old and being excited about a takeover, thinking it was a game changer, a little bit like how I felt when we were linked to Kia Gibraltar, whatever you want to call him, and we brought in Tevez and Mascherano, and at that point, I'll never forget that day as a West Ham fan still, because I had the buzz the whole day. We thought big things were coming to West Ham that day and that day onwards, but we did not know what we were getting ourselves into from that day and that day onwards. But But
it's funny. I made a joke on Facebook earlier tonight. Someone saying, "Oh, we've got to get him in, get him in." And I said, I'd rather have a porn star gangster than have an Azerbaijani gangster running the club. Because they sound really dodgy. I might be doing them a disservice, but they sound really dodgy.
yeah.
Daniela, I want to know who this former employee is that giving BBC and other news outlets information on what's going on. It's a guy called ex West ex Ham ex WHU employee. Is that what he's?
What is it?
She wants
I
to
want
know
to know who is the former employee that's given BBC and other
Yeah,
news outlets information on what's going on. I don't think it is X.
I think she is talking about X.
Is she?
Yeah, because someone else asked the question. Someone made a comment earlier that it's come from X, so he's very reliable.
I mean, listen, ITK, no interest in it. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to be part of that world. I never
Yes, you do.
wanted to be.
Yes, you
I don't. I really don't. I genuinely have no interest in it.
I'm winding you up.
No, I know, but I genuinely don't. And they get they get information. They do. They don't. Each to their own.
It is what. Steve, Bowen is injured or on his way to Liverpool. He's no longer injured and he's not on his way to Liverpool. And that leads us into good evening, Jack. Who's going to replace Lingard? Ben Rama is.
No,
Benny's
he's not, because Lingard's going to come back.
Well, yeah. Well, until Lingard comes back. Foe, good evening. I'm with Stel. You have to build a team from the defence. Centre back for me also. Obviously, that's playing devil's advocate, and I prefer multiple transfer. Look, I agree. I'm when I play football, I'm an attack-minded player, but even I can see that it's our defence that needs more. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see you play. I bet you're calamity in the back.
Yeah. If you are watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up. There's over 230 people watching. We're over 103 thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs up, that helps the algorithm on the channel, pushes our channel into more people, more West Ham fans, and all that malarkey. If you're new around here, go and hit that subscribe button, because then you'll get notified when our content comes out. But go and hit that thumbs up as well. And again, if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. But there is well over 230 people watching live right now, and we're at 103 thumbs up. So go and get us there to 150.
What did I say? 180, didn't I?
50.
Well, let's go to 180. Glenn, Yarma can't do it in the Premier League. Yarmolenko, is he going to smash it for us, or is he going to get injured after 5 minutes?
If I'm consistent, I did a video before the Euros, and I said if Yarma has a good Euros, will that kickstart his career again? It's got the potential, mate. If we get one good year out of Yarmolenko,
career, it's his injuries, mate. That's the problem. Is his injuries. Steve, where is Abraham going? Where is Abraham going now with Lukaku coming in and Villa signing? He's coming to West Ham.
Well, listen, James Fever, mate, you need to stop doing that. Have a drink on me. Fun for Strikers Hearts starts here. Well, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Daniela, Bonus just signed a long contract, so it's going to cost Liverpool a bit of money, and they don't have a lot of money, and they're not going to buy him anyway. So I won't worry about that. Art of War by Moyes have 3 goalies on the bench to scare the opposition, then unleash Antonio. Eddie Duffy, Moyes declared more than a year ago that striker was his top priority. How can they not made a choice and sign one? It is odd, but he just doesn't seem to have found the right striker, does he?
No,
Stable team. The truth is, we don't know 100% what's going on behind closed doors. All we can do is speculate, and that is the thing. Moyes is. I mean, that's why it's the irony. I mean, it's a good comment this, because the irony is we've been a club where the leaks have come through left, right, and centre. You couldn't stop the leaks at one point. Short of the actual owners sitting in front of a camera and talking in the microphone. I mean, it was like. It was a leak every 5 minutes, and now that the leaks they've actually completely stopped, haven't they?
Yeah.
And now people are going, we don't know what's going on. We're not signing anyone. For all we know, there might be loads of negotiations going on behind Areola, prime example. Goalie's not our priority. Goalie's not our priority. Yeah, speculation about Areola and Olsen and Johnston and all that. And then out of the blue, Areola comes in. So I reckon that's why we are going to buy a few more players. But
I just want to show Fo something. Hold on a minute, I'll remove it quickly. Where is the comment that you put on? Just 2 seconds, mate. Where is it? Where is it? I bet Anton is a spitting image of Razor Ruddock on a football pitch. Pure filth. What I'm about to show you is Anton at Upton Park playing in a charity match with ex-pros. Man of the match, might I add. But look at this tackle.
Here we go. Here we go. Look at he took the player right out. He took that player right out.
How do I get that back?
What's going on there?
How do I get that back? I don't know how to get that back.
Oh, I don't know. You absolutely took him right out. Oh, people, did you see that tackle? He went in studs first. Mate, you would have been sent off immediately if you'd done that.
I actually think I got a touch of the ball, to be honest.
You show people that again. Go on.
It's
Anton in action.
At Upton Park, in a charity match.
Go on. Here we go. Look. Oh, fucking hell. Who was that? Was that Ashton that you took out?
No, it wasn't me that injured Ashton. Don't worry, it wasn't me.
Fucking hell, mate. You took him right out.
Yeah, see if that was you, I would have loved to have done that.
Mate, I would have skipped over you. You wouldn't even noticed I was there.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You had no chance.
Mark Thomas. Well, I've got no.
Hold on a minute, David. Powerful thighs. You nailed it on the head. Nail it on the head.
Right, there's
red card, Joker. That.
Exactly, red card. There's 246 watching. We want to get to 200. Like, was that Boris Johnson or Anton?
No, they weren't 2 feet off the ground.
2 feet off the ground, mate. Sending off. That's not a tackle. That's an assault. Jesus, Peter Reid would have blushed. Came away with his wallet.
I'm actually good. I actually stayed friends with the guy as well. I made the tackle on. I stayed friends with the guy I tackled on as well, and every year he posts it
after the game.
He posts it on Facebook. But then no wonder still I had to retire from football because I fractured dislocated my ankle.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if you're going in for challenges like that. No surprise whatsoever. I bet you was shit anyway, mate. So no loss to the footballing world. What is Rice thinking right now in the sense of not stringing? Don't worry. I actually think we're going to get 2 more players in GBA. Should have got 6 months. Oh dear. Young self.
Sorry.
10 years the Davids have been the owners. They only spent 100 million in one of them, and in the other 9 they spent next to nothing. What? No. Unfortunately, I like to think that was true, but it's not true. They have spent money. What? They just spent it really, really badly. And someone else just said, yeah, but they recouped all their money. Well, you want to have a look at the figures. It doesn't really look good when it comes to players, especially under the Pellegrini era, when we bought 100 million pounds worth of players and got, they've all gone for about 30 million. So I'm not so sure they have recouped all the money. NWO. I don't know if you were talking about Anton's tackle, but certainly a horror.
The comments are hilarious.
Are you going from the bottom up? Because I'm
laughing. I'm sorry. It just makes it. Sorry. Julian Dix Mark II. That's assault. Anton.
Exactly.
Anton is a beast. Anton has slid past customs at. That tackle was fine 20 years ago. That tackle reminds me of Bobby Moore gets the Brazilian Supreme wrong-footed tackle. Bobby Moore, Narky, Anton out.
Anton out, exactly.
Nothing but ball. He should have got 6 months. Anton is officially the #1 Boogers fan.
Boogers. Yeah, you remind him of Boogers, no one else.
Sorry.
Oh, dear. So what else have we got? What else do you want to talk about while we...
I mean, we don't need to keep going on all night, obviously, because we can have a nice early night for once. But I know you're obsessed with it and obsessed with keeping me on the chat, so let's keep doing it. But PAI, I'm not convinced, and they would have to dramatically turn it around for me to even remotely seriously consider the offer. But I just don't know if it's legit, if it is legit.
Why don't we finish with asking people what they think of PAI? Make comments now. What do you guys genuinely think, guys and girls? What do you genuinely think of PAI? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you want to know more, or have you heard enough to sort of tell yourselves that it's not good? Because I'll tell you, uh, uh, obviously, when we do research for shows, etc., you've got to read up on the stories, and I looked into them, and I read that article that I mentioned. If you haven't done it yet, go to holsey.com, HOLLSWEY.com. It's Holly Worthington's website. She's written an article about PAI, and she asks some pertinent questions. And I tell you what, th- like there are more holes than a Swiss cheese in their approach, and the fact that they've
Reminds me of
stated
you.
they don't want to do this all in public, and yet they're pushing it out in public. Who's the guy? Tom, what's his name? That they've
Skinner.
Tom Skinner they got as a front man. Yeah, well, that's really professional, isn't it? They've told
Yeah,
him
but
all
each their
about,
own. Yeah,
the,
but I
the
mean, it's
deal.
just it's not professional on their behalf. It's a shame because the guy's out there trying to make a living for himself. So, you know, people. I mean,
Yeah.
look at this comment here. Where is it? So the thing is, what's your thoughts on PAI? And look at this comment. Reminds me of Stell. That's what they all think.
That's what you just wrote. Yeah.
But there we go, though. Here we go. So, Father Snowman, PAI, no thank you. Would like to know what extra capital they will have.
Yeah.
Luke Smith is saying maybe the fact that there's been not been any transfer activity is GSB maybe holding out for this bid. David M is saying, have you read Tom Skinner's Twitter feed saying big news tomorrow? Do I believe it?
Well, there was meant to be big news tonight. They were meant to
Mm.
do all their big announcement tonight, and nothing's come of it. So, Danny, investors want their money back, and that's exactly what it'll be. PAI can jog on. It's bad for the club. I agree. I'm really interested to see what this big news is going to be. Are they actually going to give us anything more than we've already heard? Luke, Stelios, so every business on the stock market has investors who want returns. In the whole, it makes the business perform better. It does. But what I'm saying is, Luke, you've got investors. If they're going to use investors' money to buy West Ham United, and then they're going to have to fork out for players. They promised about improving the training grounds. They promised about improving the stadium. They want to buy the stadium as well. So they're going to spend money on players, money on stadium, money on training facilities, etc., etc. Um, when are the investors going to get their money back? That's why I think this is a load of pony. I think it's an
Yeah.
an odd situation. Tommy,
Irish Tommy
very
saying, I'm very,
suspicious.
oh, sorry.
Go on, mate. Go on.
I'm very suspicious of PAI. I would need absolute clarity before getting behind them. Their approach seems a bit Mickey Mouse at the moment, and it doesn't pass the smell test. And I couldn't agree with you anymore,
Good
Tommy.
point. Good point.
Scott R.
Scott,
Where's that gone?
whether we want PAI or not, we really have to no say in it. Whatever happens, we really can we can really only sit back and watch. Yeah. What worries me is something's made you laugh. What worries me is this lot may be a lot worse. Are you nicking your kids' drink?
Yes,
Well,
I am actually. I
he's
am.
thrown them out of the toy room, and now
I've got the
he's thrown
orange
them out of
juice.
the
A
playroom.
carton of orange juice.
Oh, mate, your poor kids. What else have we got here? Barry, the club will not go, but Sullivan will not go. But Sullivan has said he is willing to sell shares, but still, yeah, that's another thing we've heard. What Sullivan and Gold have talked about doing is selling shares, so there's more investment. They did it with the American guy. Oh goodness, can't remember his name, but he's got 10% stake in West Ham, and
Shops.
Todd something or other. But yeah, there is a possibility of doing that. Rather than selling the club, they're looking at maybe selling shares, keeping a control, a large enough share control. But yeah, selling a few shares in order to get investment. That's fine. That's good business sense as well. Oliver, they did a great job with QPR. I know you're being cheeky. Hammerwell, look at QPR and Tony Fernandez. Steve has still been nobbled by GSB free holiday cycles. Like fucking weird.
I tell you something right now. Do you know what? See, Stell, he is easily bought. So I wouldn't be surprised if Still nips off because the board have said to him, "I'll buy your holidays to the Cyprus, and you
I
can do
tell you
this and
what,
do that." If you start supporting Chelsea,
if they want
and
to buy me a 3-bedroom villa in Cyprus, I might start thinking about, saying board in. But at the moment, as I said on Monday, I've come out, people, and I'm board neutral. So there you go. Anton, thanks for making me remember the Mascherano couldn't get in the team because Pardew fancied Hayden Mullins more.
and fair play to Hayden Mullins, he done all right, didn't he? But it was a bit mad, yeah. It was a bit mad.
Foe, the Icelandics had good intentions. The financial crisis was not something a lot of people accounted for, to be honest. Yeah, they had good intentions. But look at the players they were buying. They weren't exactly buying top-notch players either, were they?
Well, at the time, though, I mean, let's be honest, rewind back still. When we signed Craig Bellamy, were you happy? Because I was.
Oh, Bellamy was all right.
Were you happy when we signed? Listen, key question here. Were you happy when we signed Freddie Ljungberg?
No.
When we signed him?
No, I wasn't happy, no.
See, I was.
Oh, well, yeah. Shows how much you know about football, mate.
Yeah.
Ljungberg was more interested in his clothing range at the time. I think he was modelling clothing when he signed for West Ham. He was fucking on the catwalk.
You probably weren't even watching West Ham then, because you weren't.
Yeah, I was probably at Chelsea or something.
Yeah,
there you go. Grass and Upson, good evening to you. Waiting for our place in the pecking order that we are so far back in the queue. It's due to long-term bad ownership. Even our best chairman was a. We've never had good owners, have we? We've never had good owners.
But then I don't know what club really does apart from Leicester. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head who else is a favourite. Leicester seem to have got. I don't know if they've just got extremely lucky.
Good owners.
But no, they have. They've just got extremely lucky with their owners, mate. But they seem to have just got it right. They've got the right mix, and they've got a plan. They've got a future. They've signed Fofana. Fofana's had a bad injury tonight, and I think the fans will be extremely confident that they'll go out and replace him. And then the news tonight about Arsenal really interested in pushing for Maddison. If I was a Leicester fan, this is the difference between, say, Leicester and West Ham, is that Leicester can lose their best players and can recover.
This is what we discussed a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
If Leicester City had Declan Rice as one of their key players, Leicester City would have sold Declan Rice, and because they would have had a ready-made replacement already. That's the way that they're structured. Isn't it going to happen in a similar sort of way with David Moyes? I mean, he's got the scouting network in. People were asking a few weeks ago, why the hell are we going out buying all these youngsters? But these youngsters are tomorrow's senior players, and it's great that and we brought in Areola a year ahead. We all thought there was a point where I actually genuinely thought that Areola or another keeper wasn't going to happen until the end of this coming season. They've done it a year ahead, So doesn't that kind of indicate in some way that maybe there is a change in approach and a change in structure, but of how the team is being managed? But in all honesty, are you really worried, Anton? Are you really worried?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. Still, you are a little bit. Don't say you're not, because I've got a message that proves that you are.
No, you ain't.
I have. You wrote the other day, I'm a little bit worried.
I said I was a little bit concerned.
See, well, no, you said worried. Worried.
Concerned.
You said, I'll get the comment and put it up. If you really want me to prove you wrong again, I will do it. Remember, I've molded you still into what you've become.
Yeah, you're such a wanker. You think you're winding me up, but you're not. You just sounded like a complete dick. That's
so have I wound you up? Yes.
No. Ben, we've got cherry lace hamstrings as our only cherry lace. Do you think Moyes is already talking with Rob Mewen? Of course he bloody well is. You don't, he's on gardening duty, but come on, gardening leave or whatever you call it.
I have a date with my pillow, mate. This is still 6 seconds away from an hour.
How many likes have we got?
132.
We need 18 more likes and we'll let you go to bed. How about that?
There you go. Come on, do it. Hit the thumbs up if you're watching right now. Hit the thumbs up.
18 more likes. Neil, hello mate. How are you? We missed you on Monday. I think we went on at a time when you were actually asleep, Neil, because I don't remember seeing you on the West Ham Weekly. Do correct me if I'm wrong. All this
Neil,
takeover has
Neil,
created a bad look for anyone who might have been interested in coming to West Ham. People want some surety when transferring to another club. Do you think prospective players look at West Ham and think, what a shit show?
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you?
I do sometimes, yeah. I said tonight when I was on Jake's show, right? I said the following something. I said something along the lines of, if you're an external player looking in at West Ham now, and you've got Declan Rice, and you've got Tommy Soucek, and you've got Soufal, and you talk about all our good players and the rapport that they've got and how good that they're, the vibe is, then you would be a bit surprised at why players wouldn't look in. But let's start to digress that a little bit still. You bring a player in, you take them to the training ground. So you compare training grounds. It's not as nice as what Leicester have got. It's probably not as nice as
No,
what
on the
Norwich City have
outside,
got.
but as we
Right.
keep saying,
But then
on
no,
this,
but then the history, if you believe the history of the club and the people that work for the club, do they go in and do they talk about the history? Do West Ham put a nod to the history of the club and talk about the history of the club and really ram it down people's throats and make you feel that, oh, you get butterflies when you walk in? If you don't get the butterflies walking into the stadium, then will the players not get the butterflies walking in? So I do think there is an element, mate, because we do and have wore our laundry out and hung our laundry out for every single person to see for many, many years. We have, mate. Are you going to take the mick out of me? What's this?
No.
But the thing is, though, we can't have our cake and eat it. We have hung our laundry out to dry in front of everyone. And I mean, I've got because I live up here in Scotland, I've got loads of neutral people, and when I talk to them about West Ham, they go, "Oh yeah, so you don't like the owners then," or something like that, or remember there was fighting. Like, people know that there's that kind of shit it's surrounded by it just now. And it's nice. Last season was nice because we weren't really surrounded by that shit. It was, we signed Lingard, he scored goals, we got Europa League, we nearly qualified for the Champions League, and yeah, let's see what we can do.
Here's some breaking news for you. A couple of bits. Apparently now we're now in for the new Kaká, the Brazilian playmaker. Apparently, we are now interested in a Sao Paulo midfielder, Igor Gomes. So you'll be reading all about that tomorrow. And guess what? Guess who's now in the running for Tammy Abraham that you'll be reading about tomorrow as well?
Aston Villa.
Atalanta.
Atalanta.
How weird is that? We're playing Atalanta this weekend, aren't we? So there you go.
Yes. So on that, still you're going to the game.
I am.
I'm not. So I'm going to hold you accountable. So everyone who's watching right now, the supporters club's not open. Am I right?
No, it's not, unfortunately. The bar that it's at is open, but it's not.
Do you have a plan for your match day?
I'm going to get pissed.
Right. So I'm holding Stell accountable to
Don't hold
everyone.
me accountable because I'm not even going to come on camera.
Oh, you will, because you're obsessed. You always do it. So I'm holding Stell accountable to the 200 odd people that are watching live right now. If you want us to do a match day live, which we will do on Saturday in Atlanta,
mate. I'll get
listen to me, Stell. If you want Stell to come on, we are going to do it as follows. Stell, come on before the game. Log in at halftime very quickly and log in straight after the game to give you a quick 1 minute.
I can't promise.
Do you know why he can't promise it? Do you know why he can't promise it? Because he can't be bothered and he doesn't care about you lot. But what we're trying to do is give you a really what we're trying to do is really give you a positive vibe about supporting West Ham, and we're trying to give you
a pile of shit. He's worse than
the most exciting thing, to watch, the experience of watching West Ham. And what does Still do? He goes away, he doesn't buy drinks, he gets drinks bought for him, he gets drunk, and he doesn't care about the channel. And I'm like, come on, mate. Listen, I'm going to the Newcastle game. I'm probably taking my 5-year-old son, and I'm probably going to give the content to the fans because they want it. So
I'm going to get something for Gary because he asked me the other night, and I forgot to get it for him. So
here we go. Look,
keep talking.
No, Gary's saying, why do you hate us still?
Well,
So
mate,
you're not denying it. You're not denying it.
it's not that I hate you. I can't stand Anton, and he just like he tries to wind me up, but I won't fall for it.
Yeah, but
Gary, I'm getting it for you. I'm getting it for you. So you keep talking shit while I look up the music for Gary. Go on.
but this is, when I created Stell, when I talent spotted Stell, and I gave him all the advice that he needed to do in terms of, like, I had to give him knowledge of West Ham. I said, if you're going to come onto a West Ham channel, you're going to have to study the history books. So I'm going to give you some books to learn the history, because if you come across as a Chelsea fan, it's not going to come across really well. So he's studied it and he's doing well, and I give him credit where credit's due. And every now and then he goes off on these tangents like he's doing right now.
Are you still
Uh,
talking shit?
Yes, I am. So when it comes to the West Ham Daily, that's us really rounded up, and I don't know what Stell's up to, but that really is us. Have you got what you're looking for, Stell?
No, Gary, I'm gonna have to look it up, mate, and I'll promise you, I'll send it. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Have we got 150 likes?
Yes,
Great, great.
we don't, but
Well, how many
I
we
know,
got?
mate. I don't know. It's 25 past midnight. We're going to come off here. You're going to keep me on for another half an hour to talk.
Well,
But
if you
listen. Let's leave it with this. Still, let's leave it with the following exciting stuff coming.
yeah, there is actually. There actually is. Um, there you go, Ken. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for backing me there. Can't promise anything because
Ken,
the
Ken,
Wi-Fi's
Ken,
rubbish.
Ken. You don't need the Wi-Fi, and I know what you're saying about the 4G. But see, before the game, because I've been there several times, it's no problem at all. No problem at all. So he just needs to get his little bumming gear, and it is little because he's tiny.
Yeah, well, it worries me that you like big thighs and little bums. Really, really worried. Really worried. I mean, you said it on chat, you said it online. You keep talking about men's thighs, and now you're talking about little bums. What is wrong with you, mate? I
Yeah.
mean,
Listen, we are a West Ham channel. Let's stop. Honestly, here we go. Exciting stuff. Anton's a new defender. That's it, James, mate. Listen, I'll put a fear in myself.
there is something exciting coming up, and we are actually. I'm sorry, we're sounding quite that we can't give you any detail about it. It will happen very, very very soon. And when it does happen, I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yep.
I think people are going to love it. So,
Yep.
and no, we're not going Patreon, so don't worry about that.
Nope.
But yeah, it will be good, and it will be in time for the new season. It's not the right weather for it, mate. Not the right weather for it. But I tell you what, when when we get the hoodies up and running, when we get, there'll be something a little bit different about them.
Hold on a minute. Where is that? Wow, where is that? Glenn, need some good news. Just prepare you. It's not about West Ham.
It is about West Ham.
But it's not about West Ham. We're not signing, like, it's not about us knowing that we're signing a player or anything like that. So
but it's the next best thing.
Yeah, still, it's exciting stuff you're buying around.
Yeah.
James, well, he never buys around.
James, I never buy for him.
And anyone else, he's tight. He is tight, mate.
Yeah. Says the Scot. So who do you believe? Right, should we go? Are we
I actually think if we moved in together, do you know that scene in Brookside where the guy or the woman killed the guy and buried him under the buried his partner under the thing? That would be you.
Well, I wasn't listening. I was laughing at the.
I was saying this in the scene for
good news. If you need some good news, Anton won't be starting as a centre.
James Fevers was still hides in the toilet, which is around 100%, mate. Do you know what? It's actually a valid point, James. He does.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you are watching, you're new around.
Have we got to 150 yet? Have we got to 150?
I think we have.
You lying bastard. Right, that's it.
Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and tune in today, which is Thursday, for a daily.
That's a good idea.
What?
Do a live show. Let people come and watch us talking shit rather than they having to watch us talking shit on YouTube. That's a good idea.
Oh, he would love that. He would love
I
that.
would
Do you know
actually. I
why?
think it'd
Because
be
he'd have
great
a
banter.
throne. He would have a throne,
Great
and
banter.
he would gain some power. And do you know what he thinks? Do you know what he thinks? He's sitting, look at his face. He's thinking, all that free drink I'd get. No, still, no, still. That's not what's happening. Anyway, listen. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
God, why do we put up with the shit
Subscribe,
that comes
like, and
out?
comment. Come on, you irons. Say bye, still.